Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character and random weapon and try to beat Danger 5 with it. As we have done almost every character for these random weapon challenges, I will be going back up through the list and just selecting the last couple that we haven't done. Since we've been re-rolling characters I've already done, I'm just going to select the last couple rather than make you wait while I roll 20 times. Before I begin, I have a couple people that I want to thank, so I want to say thank you so much to McDonough for renewing your channel membership for a 4th month, and IronBar200 for a 2nd month, as well as Brandon Meyer for renewing for a 2nd month. MXF5000 for becoming a channel member, and Alexandre Carchano for becoming a channel member. Let me know if I said your name wrong. As well as Tilted Kyoso for a €20 donation, and Fearsome Jin for €5. Thank you so much, my friends. I really do appreciate it. Alright, let's jump in and see what character we're getting. We are going to work our way backwards. So the last one I did was Glutton. We've done Cyborg, Streamer. Arms Dealer doesn't really make sense for a random weapons challenge. I did Artificer and Hunter. We haven't done the Doctor. I guess I'll do the Doctor. I mean, he does technically, the Doctor technically has 2 weapons. So I used medical guns for my class guide to the Doctor, but we're going to use scissors this time, so let's give that a go. This should be a relatively straightforward run because Doctor, I think, is one of the more straightforward characters in the game, one of the more powerful characters in the game. So I will do my best with this guide to really orient this towards newer players. Not that there won't be information for veteran players as well, but I'm going to try to talk through what I'm doing in quite a lot of detail, because I think Doctor's one of the best characters to get your first win with, so on Danger 5, so we'll be orienting this towards those players. So you can see Doctor has plus 200% attack speed with medical weapons, 5 HP regeneration, and your HP regeneration is doubled. So you basically don't have to worry about buying any healing on the Doctor, because between the HP regeneration that you have and the native lifesteal of your medical weapons, whether those be medical guns or scissors, you are going to have plenty of healing. You also start with 5 harvesting, so your economy is off to a great start. The penalties are that you can't use non-medical weapons, but that's okay, and your armor modifications are reduced by 50%. Generally, I'd just ignore this line of text, the armor modifications line, because it's still really good to get armor on this character. Armor is more valuable on this character because you have so much healing, and armor acts as a multiplier on your health or your healing. So even though you only get half as much armor, it's significantly more valuable because it's protecting all the healing that you're already getting. So let's take the scissors and jump in, and we will run around. Notice how fast we're attacking thanks to the bonus attack speed. So we have 200% attack speed with medical weapons. I shouldn't have stepped on that X. 200% attack speed with medical weapons and minus 100% attack speed with everything. So that basically gives us plus 100% attack speed with our default weapon set. Right away you can see how strong this character is by how much money we have gotten in the first wave. Normal characters expect to get between 54 and 56 in the first wave, and feel like if you get 56, you feel pretty good about that first wave run. Doctor got 67 here, so right away we are way ahead of where you would expect another character to be. I could just take melee damage or luck. These are both good options, but when you start with harvesting, I think it's really good to try to roll for more harvesting, because that way you can hit 21 harvesting as soon as possible. Harvesting goes up by 5% every wave, and that number rounds up. Unlike just about every other thing in the game, almost everything in this game rounds down except for harvesting. So when you hit 21 harvesting, it starts increasing by 2 per wave instead of 1 per wave. So that's a great threshold to shoot for early. So we'll go ahead and grab that. In the first 2 shops, Wave 1 and Wave 2 shops, you are guaranteed to see 2 weapons every time you reroll. Exactly 2, no more, no less. So what you want to do is roll to try to fill out your weapon sets to get your synergy tags online. We're going to have 10 regeneration, which will be doubled once we get all our medical weapons together, and 15% crit chance. Crit chance acts as a multiplier on all the damage we do. And this character has extra damage because of our very high attack speed. So crit chance is even more valuable because we're applying that crit chance twice as often as another character would be. We'll take the scissors. I'm going to lock the coupon. I would rather get my weapon sets online and spend money on that than buy coupon early and save like 2 extra materials. We'll want it later, but the coupon is less valuable or the coupon's more valuable the earlier you get it, but it's more important to get all of our weapon sets online as early as possible. I'm also going to lock the Scar. If we buy this really early, then it's going to pay for itself many times over. Great item to find if you can find it very early. So now we have 2 very strong economy items locked, and we're just going to keep rolling and try to fill out our weapon set. Ended up with exactly enough money to reroll once on my level up and reroll 4 times in the shop, so we can lock another scissors. This is really good because we've found 4 weapons with a 5th locked and 2 super strong economy items locked. I'm feeling extremely good about this run. This is exactly where you want a run to be when you are starting the game. Always go out of your way to break the trees. They drop 3 materials, so they're worth more than killing the enemies, but also they have a very high chance to drop a crate, which contains a random item, and that's a huge boost to your economy. Here I'm going to roll once again to try to find more harvesting, and I will do one more reroll here. We missed on harvesting, but I'm just going to take luck. Luck is a great economy item to find early. And then here I'm actually going to take 2 armor. Armor, like I said, will be valuable, and this is a level 2 upgrade, so just getting a level 2 upgrade is really nice. Going to buy the scissors. In wave 2, we're still guaranteed to see 2 weapons, so we should be able to get a 6th scissors and then roll again. You're more likely to see weapons that you already have, and you're more likely to see weapons that share tags with weapons you have, so you're fairly likely to be able to get to 5 or 6 of the same weapon if you just roll hard for it, especially in a weapon tag that's very small, like the medical tag. Medical weapons, there's only 2 of them at level 1, so you're very, very likely to see lots of medical weapons if you roll for them. Just trying to make my way between the enemies here, move to large groups of enemies, and maximize our farm. Right now, because of being the doctor and just having this high attack speed, lifesteal, and regen, and so on, we're not in any danger. But in general, in this wave, for most characters, it doesn't matter if you take a little damage in the early waves. Health doesn't, like, carry over between waves or anything, so you can afford to take hits as long as you aren't dying. Here, I think I will still roll once for harvesting, and we'll roll one more time. Missed on harvesting, which is a little unlucky, but that's okay. I'm going to just take the crit chance. That will improve our precise weapon tag more, or will improve our chance to critically hit. There's a lot of items that have synergy with critical hits, so making those more likely is going to let us use those items if we happen to roll them. Buy the coupon first, of course, to reduce the cost of the other things, and then I'll buy the other economy item, lock the scissors, and then I am going to reroll once. We could find another level 1 scissors, but we could also just find another good item to buy or something good to lock, and in fact we found all of those things. Bag is an incredible economy item. It's going to be worth an enormous amount of materials over the course of the run, and I will lock Broken Mouth as well, because we do want to increase our max HP, and this is a very efficient way to do it. The goal is going to be basically to get so much armor, dodge, health, and regeneration, or I guess we have the lifesteal because we're using a scissors build, but armor, dodge, and health that we can just wade into groups of enemies with complete impunity and take as much damage as they can dish out, and we just survive it always. There we go, bag already paying for itself. You can see here, because we have so much lifesteal from our scissors, if we walk into enemies, it doesn't matter because we instantly heal it up again. Take another Broken Mouth. This does cost me some health regeneration, which is a little painful just because our health regeneration is doubled, but we have so much healing that I'm not worried about it, and it's much more important to get our maximum health up. You don't really need to buy attack speed on this character because you start with plus 100%, so typically you want to increase, when you're looking at damage stats or health stats, you want to increase the lowest ones because they all multiply together. Each stat makes the others more valuable. So because we have very high attack speed, any increases we get to our melee damage or percent damage or crit chance are that much more valuable, but increases to our attack speed are correspondingly less valuable. I could buy the dodge here, but I think I'm going to roll either to try to find a harvesting or to try to find just some melee damage or percent damage. Or in this case, luck. I really want these economy upgrades early, and luck is a great economy upgrade. Luck makes you more likely to find higher level ups, more likely to find higher level items in the shop, and more likely to drop consumables and crates from enemies. So it does many things, all of which are great, and getting it early can really help jumpstart your character's economy. I don't actually think we need 4 HP regeneration. I could just take 5 harvesting, but I think I'll just take the max HP here. Looks like we aren't going to hit 21 harvesting early, but that's okay. We don't have to invest in harvesting. It's just nice to be able to. I'm going to combine these weapons and buy another level 2 scissors. Generally speaking, when you're... Not that we had the option this time, but just as a general rule, it's better to have multiple weapons of medium levels than one very high level weapon. So if we find another level 2 scissors here, I'll combine 2 of the level 1s and create 4 level 2s, rather than combining the level 2s and making 1 level 3. Because it's better to have multiple weapons at mid-levels than it is to have one weapon at a high level for most weapons. Buy the other Broken Mouth and roll again. And then, okay, yeah, we can buy the fertilizer, and that gets our harvesting to 22. That's perfect. I will lock the Goat Skull, because we do need to increase our melee damage. And then we've already rolled once, so I'm just going to save my money. We have something locked already. You can see, having taken the fertilizer does make our attack damage a little low, but because of our very high attack speed, we're still killing things pretty quickly, and all that matters is that we're clearing the enemies almost as fast as they spawn, so that we can maximize our income from these waves. This build has several of my favorite economy items. We've got the fertilizer, we've got the coupon, we've got the bag. Those together are giving us lots of extra money. So it's very, very valuable to grab those. You notice that you don't actually have to pick up the boxes. They get pulled to you at the end of the wave, so you can ignore them, and in fact it's actually good to leave them on the ground because they heal you, just like the fruits do. So you want to pick them up when you're hurt rather than when you're at full health. We'll definitely take Metal Detector. When you get it this early, it's really powerful. The 5% chance to double the value of picked up materials will give us a lot of materials, and the 6 luck is good. Yes, we lose 5% damage, but that's okay. Here I'm going to reroll. Our crit chance is good enough, and I really want to increase our percent damage or melee damage, or just our economy stats as well. I would take those as well. I think I'm going to take the melee damage over the luck. I want both, but I am a little concerned that our melee damage is so low, so I'm going to boost that. I still don't need to buy attack speed, so let's reroll here, and we will buy movement speed, actually, over percent damage. Being at negative movement speed is one of the ways that you can lose these relatively straightforward runs, so we want to make sure we have positive movement speed as soon as we can get it. Take the Goat Skull for sure. Yes, we lose crit chance, but the flat melee damage is very valuable. And I'm actually going to skip Weird Food on this character. Normally an item I would never skip because it's so good to get consumable healing, but the Doctor just has so much healing baked into the character already that I don't think you need to buy any forms of healing in the shop. Similar to Cute Monkey, that would be good for a lot of characters in this position, but we just don't need more healing. I'm going to buy the Lost Duck, though, because extra luck early is really good. And we will buy the Propeller Hat, because extra luck early is really good. And we'll buy the Broken Mouth here as well. I will also lock and purchase the Missile. Often an item that you don't want to buy, but this character, because it has plus 100% attack speed at base, can afford to lose the attack speed more than other characters. And our percent damage is -7, so we really do want to repair that. Just clearing through all of these chargers, and you can see that having increased our base damage really helps our wave clear. We're now just killing things very quickly. Go break this tree. Trying not to step on the red X's. When you stand on a red X, it causes the enemy to spawn elsewhere on the map in a random location, which makes it just take a little longer for you to kill it. So typically you want to avoid doing that. That's a piece of misinformation I gave in some of my early videos where I thought it actually stopped it from spawning, but it doesn't. It causes it to spawn elsewhere. Here I'm going to just take 12% damage. It's a level 3 upgrade and we need percent damage. And then I will buy this missile as well. The more XP boosts you have, the weaker they get individually. But it's still early enough that I think buying Scar will be worth it. This is an item I've come around on a lot and think is actually more worth buying than I used to think it was. If you get it before Wave 9, I think it's often worth picking up, because it'll be worth like 2 levels over the course of the game, and 2 levels is a lot of stats. It's also worth trying to hit breakpoints, because every 5 levels you get a guaranteed high-level upgrade, and if you can get your character to level 25, then you get a guaranteed level 4 upgrade, which is a ton of extra stats. So this will take a long time to pay off, but I believe it will pay off in the end. We've also found 4 broken mouths, which is great. I mean, yes, we're losing some health regen, and maybe we'll need to pay attention to that at some point. Probably not, though, because we just have a native 45% lifesteal on our scissors, but this is just getting us very cheaply all the max HP we need. I will lock the injection for some extra damage and go to the next wave. Generally, our goal is going to be to like hit 20 harvesting early. Oh, I should have let that spawn. We have enough damage to kill these guys. Hit 20 harvesting early. Then you want to build flat damage, melee damage, or range damage, depending on what character you're playing. And then you want to start building attack speed, although this character doesn't need to build attack speed. And then finally, go back for defensive stats, is your sort of usual leveling order. Alright, maybe letting these guys spawn actually was a little bit difficult for this run. We do a little less damage than I thought we did. Just need to boost my my flat attack damage. I could take 1.5 armor, but I'm going to take some percent damage because I am a little worried that our damage isn't quite keeping up with the wave as well as I'd like. And then let's roll, and sure, I'll take 15 luck. We'll buy the injection, and then I think because I have lost some health regen, I could consider buying the mushroom, but as you saw there, even though I was walking into lots of enemies, we just don't need the additional healing because we have so much lifesteal. So we'll buy the bait, we'll roll. I will roll again, and then I could take Schmoop for max HP and regen. I don't think we need that, and I'd rather just build flat melee damage. Our flat melee damage is quite low. Scissors only scale with 80% of your melee damage, so you need relatively more of it than other weapons do. So I'd rather not decrease that, and we actually have decent maximum HP at this point, so I think I'm going to pass on the Schmoop. I will lose half an armor to start building dodge. Dodge is going to be a great way to protect our HP in the late game, so we'll take the gambling token, and then I will roll again. This is the right way to buy regen on this character, is to buy Lure. This will give us a lot of extra economy. Do I want these sunglasses? I think not. Crit chance would be good, but we will need to continue to try to build up armor. So I would rather not decrease my armor. If I had a hunting trophy or another item that cares about getting critical hits, then I would probably have purchased the crit chance more aggressively there. But since we haven't found anything like that, like the hunting trophy or tentacle, not that tentacle's that good for this character because you don't need the healing, but hunting trophy in particular, we would want the critical hit chance more. Since we don't have those, it's just not something I'm worried about right now. You can see we're already at the point where we can pretty aggressively play next to the enemies and just tank constant damage. We have high luck, so they're going to drop consumables regularly, and we have tons of healing from our lifesteal. When you're playing a melee lifesteal build like this, you really need to be playing next to the enemies, because otherwise you won't be getting your lifesteal constantly. So that's why it's important to have defensive stats for this character, to make sure that you're able to stay next to the enemies and constantly trigger your lifesteal. So we'll be investing in armor and dodge pretty aggressively. Crown, if we get it this early, even though we don't have that much harvesting, I think it will pay for itself for sure, so very happy to grab that. And then now that we've got Crown, I could just boost my harvesting. But I think I'm just going to increase my damage stats, and in this case I'll just grab the crit chance rather than reroll a bunch. I will buy the lure, I'll buy another metal detector and more luck, and another broken mouth, and then we bought everything and we get to reroll for free. I will still take fertilizer. It's fairly late in the run for buying harvesting, but we have Crown, so it's more valuable, and it's still just very good. The things that I need most now are better levels on my weapon, so I'd rather level up the scissors. I want to level up the scissors, and then just armor and dodge are basically the only stats that I need, as well as flat melee damage. We should be able to get a decent number of levels this wave, as well as a decent number of consumables dropping, or crates dropping, since we are going to kill these loot aliens, and also there's just a lot of enemies on the field, and we have very high luck. We should be able to get a bunch of crates. There we go, that's one. Wait for the next loot alien to spawn. Since, you know, we bought lure, we're guaranteed to see 2 loot aliens, so I want to make sure to find those and hunt them down. Get our guaranteed crate drops. It's okay to be tanking these hits. Like I said, we have tons of healing, so it's totally fine. I will take Baby Elephant. We don't really... we have good luck, and we'll be buying percent damage, so this will help with our wave clear, and this can definitely help with our damage. Which is still falling a little behind just because our melee damage is quite low. I'd rather have gotten this earlier, of course, but we'll take another bag. And because I got Baby Elephant, I will also pick up the Baby Gecko. That means that we can, like, chain those together. The Baby Elephant kills something with the random damage, and then it pulls in the material that thing dropped, and then the Baby Elephant kills another thing, and so on. So if we can get that chain going, that's really nice. This is obviously the perfect roll for us, just an incredible roll, but that's why we buy 82 luck. We get 8 melee damage, and that's going to solve a lot of our problems, and then 4 armor is going to solve even more of our problems. Here, I think I'm just going to buy the 9% speed. I could go for economy or even attack speed, but I'd like to get my movement speed up just a little bit. Very happy to see the scissors, and also very happy to see, I guess, all of these items we're going to buy. Tractor is incredible to get this early. This is pretty early for Tractor. Another reason to buy all this luck, right? You just get these, you have the chance of rolling these items. And Tractor is going to pay for itself in only 3 waves. But also we've got Crown, so it's going to boost our harvesting by a tremendous amount. Let's buy the weapon, buy the Tractor. Notice, like I said earlier, we're going to make 4 level 2 scissors rather than 1 level 3 scissors. Take our free reroll. We are a medical weapons build, and circular saw is a great addition to a scissors build, so any scissors build should be looking for circular saws, just because it's a better version of the scissors. Because this is a random weapon challenge, I'm just going to stick to exactly scissors. You know, this is such a powerful character that I want to just stick to the random weapon challenge, but I will mention that circular saw is one that you should buy if you're going this build on the Doctor, usually. Another lure, definitely. Alien Eyes is another way to do damage that isn't in melee, which is great. So, yeah, I'll pick that up. And I think I will actually buy the Spicy Sauce. It's a decent amount of damage, and we are at the point where I want to start boosting my max HP some more. So, even though it's a relatively expensive way to boost max HP, I think it's going to be good. I like these non-weapon sources of damage on the medical build because they're bad at wave clear since the damage of the weapons isn't that high, but great at sustainability since you get all the lifesteal from the medical weapons. So any source of damage you can get that's not from your actual weapon attacks is going to be very valuable. As always, if you are enjoying this video, you know, take a moment to leave a comment down below because it helps out a ton with the algorithm. And post. I really appreciate everyone taking the time to do that. Let me know what's your favorite holiday? We will pick up these defective steroids because we want all of these stats, of course. And yeah, I mean, we're going to keep building harvesting. I'm going to recycle this because we don't need elemental damage for any reason, and we'd like our max HP. And when we get 2 spicy sauces, that's a 50% chance for consumables to explode. That's pretty good. I think at this point our luck might be high enough, but I'll probably just take it anyways. It's just such a nice upgrade. Buy the spicy sauce. I'm going to buy riposte because our melee damage is still quite low for where I want it. So even though it's a fairly inefficient way to buy melee damage and our dodge is not that high, I still think it's worth buying. And then similarly, I'm going to buy ritual. This is a very expensive way to get 6% damage, but percent damage is really valuable to us right now because our percent damage is quite low. Alright, so we will lose 1.5 armor if I buy the glass cannon, but 25% damage is going to be a huge boost to our ability to clear waves, so I think that's definitely worth it, and we can immediately make some of it up by buying this leather vest. And then I will definitely buy Gentle Alien, I will buy Peaceful Bee as well, and I will lock the mouse. Handcuffs is often very good, but I think on this character, we're a melee damage character, you only get 8 melee damage from it, and that's half as valuable as getting 8 ranged or 8 elemental damage, because it costs, usually you get twice as much melee damage for the same price as the other 2 damage types. And locking our HP that low, I think, would be a downside. On the other hand, I will definitely buy Mouse and Gentle Alien, because more enemies on the field means more money, and also more chances to drop crates, and we have very high luck, so that gives us just way more economy. As well, we're a lifesteal build, so more enemies on the field just means more regen for us, because there's more things to hit. You want to be constantly attacking on a lifesteal build, so the more enemies there are, the better. So even though we don't care about the lifesteal at all on the mouse, just having more enemies on the field is a very heavy positive for us. I think I did pass some dynamites and maybe even a plastic explosive with the explosion size upgrades, and then we got 2 spicy sauces, so it's possible that we'd have benefited from buying those things. There's another loot alien, so I want to make sure to chase that guy down. You can see that now that we have the alien eyes and the baby elephant and the riposte and stuff, we're getting a lot of wave clear from things that aren't weapon attacks. Things are just like dying elsewhere on the map, which is really helping our income and increasing our ability to clear the wave. Oh no, this guy spawned right at the end. I don't think we have the damage. Oh nice, we got him right at the end. Very, very happy to finish off that loot alien. Leather vest is great. Armor and dodge are both things that we need. We will recycle the toxic sludge, and then I don't need more harvesting. I don't really need more crit chance either. I'm just going to reroll. I'm going to take melee damage here over dodge, I think. I want both, of course. We'd like to reach the dodge cap of 60 as soon as we can, but I think the melee damage is going to help us more, and then here I'm just going to take percent damage. Buy the scissors and another shady potion and a mouse and roll. And there we go, we get to buy another scissors. Tentacle we don't really care that much about the healing, but the crit chance is nice, and the healing isn't 0, so I'm going to buy it here. And then I will reroll to see if we can lock something else, and we can lock another scissors upgrade. Getting these scissors upgrades is really good. It's just more damage, more lifesteal, and so on. They also attack a little faster, which is nice both because they do more damage, but also because they lifesteal more often. And then we will buy 1 armor off the metal plate. Most characters want to end up with like 10 or 15 armor. On the doctor, who gets half as much, I'll be happy if we can end the game with like 7 or 8 armor. Which means that we have to buy it pretty aggressively. Here you can see there are so many enemies on the field that it's hard for us not to take damage, but it doesn't matter because I've bought all these defensive stats and we have so much healing from our scissors that we can just run heedlessly into these big groups of enemies, and then if I start to take a bunch of damage, I can kind of back off, wait for my regen and the lifesteal to protect me, and then run back into the middle of all the enemies and take a million damage again. Trying to step on these consumables because they have a 50% chance of exploding, and that can help with our wave clear. But you can see we're doing really well. We made 777. That's a lucky number of materials this wave, which is a very good income for wave 12. I'm going to recycle the boxing glove. I don't think we want knockback, and I will recycle that, of course, because it doesn't do anything for us. Here, I'll just buy percent damage. We, again, don't need more harvesting. We'd take it if it was offered against something we didn't want, but in this case, I just want to start boosting my combat stats. And then here we'll take dodge. Dodge is also extra damage for us because we have riposte, so it helps with our wave clear as well. Upgrade these scissors again, buy armor, buy HP and melee damage, and reroll. We're not going to buy Scar at this point. It's far too late for it to pay for itself, and we have 2 others already. But I will keep buying Peaceful Bees. This is just a really efficient way to buy 4% dodge and just get us towards dodge cap. And then Community Support, normally an incredible item. I think I will pass on it here. While we could use more attack speed at this point, so we have 90% attack speed because we're at minus 110, but then plus 100%, plus 200% with medical weapons. 90% attack speed is good, but not so high that we don't want to buy more attack speed. But I think that losing an armor is actually going to be a real downside, and the amount of attack speed we're getting from it is not that significant for this build, so I'm just going to skip the community support. We'll buy Shady Potion, we'll roll. We'll buy Little Muscly Dude for sure. We'll buy Hedgehog, just some extra damage. And then I will roll once more. Jetpack is great, of course, even though we lose some armor. And even though I said we don't need to buy any regen, I will buy Fairy. It's such an efficient healing item that this makes us just extra safe. And when you get like 15 regen, and remember on the Doctor that's doubled, it's just going to be so much extra healing that I think it's still worth buying. Doctor really doesn't need to spend money on regeneration, but when it's when you get 15 for less than 200 materials, it's really hard to turn that down anyways. Just some extra safety by buying really high tier and efficient items. So community support would probably be giving me like 20-30 attack speed at the cost of 1 armor, which is not a bad amount. Maybe I should have taken it. I think it's probably right not to, just because armor is like one of the only stats we actually care about right now. It's the defensive stat that will have the most impact on our build currently. So I think we really need to prioritize not reducing my armor. Coffee is a great item. This will just give us some attack speed, and it's just super efficient to pick up that item. And then here, I could just take 10% more attack speed. I think I'm going to reroll. I think we can do better. Yeah, I'll take 9% crit chance. That will boost our crit significantly. we get the offer again. So you can see our critical hit chance is 48% because of the native critical hit of the scissors, and we've boosted our crit chance a little bit. So we could definitely continue to increase that. I think I will take community support here, because armor is really good, but I do think maybe it was a mistake not to pick it up earlier. Also, because I'm buying every other item in this shop, this will get me a free shop reroll, so we get it at a slight discount. Probably should have bought it earlier, but I think that's okay. And then we can try to repair our armor by buying the metal plate. We'll take this blindfold as well, of course, because crit chance and dodge are both really good for us. Go to the next wave. When you're in wave 14 and later and you're facing these summoners, you want to kill them and then stand near where they died so that you can clear the goobers immediately, because one of the easiest ways to lose this game is to let a lot of those stack up, and then they fill the whole arena with projectiles, and you have to dodge a lot. So just be aggressive about making sure you're hunting those down and clearing them, and clear them, stand near where you killed the summoners so that you can clear them as soon as they spawn. A little less important for this build because our health and regeneration are so good, but definitely something to keep in mind at Wave 14 and later. Especially Wave 14, and if you've got a Wave 14 Elite. Ended up not making that much money that wave, but still pretty good income. I will take this garden just because having some extra consumables on the ground is always handy, and it's only 31 materials that we'd be getting for it. And then here, I could take damage, I could take speed. Our percent speed is great. We have 28% because I bought that jetpack, so we'll just take the percent damage here. I could also have rerolled for a higher level upgrade, but I'm not that worried about that. Here, I'm just going to buy everything in the shop. It's all just good for us. And then we get another free reroll. And then I will upgrade my scissors, buy the blindfold, and I don't need more speed really, but I am just going to buy the beanie. In part because if we find a power generator later, which we're fairly likely to do since we're rolling high-level shop items quite regularly thanks to our high luck, then that will be a lot of extra percent damage, but also just because somewhere around 30% speed I think is optimal for fighting elites. That's a luxury amount of speed. You don't need that much speed, but it lets you do fancier dodges on some of the elites' attack patterns, so I like having that. We're going to try to DPS this guy down as soon as possible. Usually when you have, when you're going into a fight with an elite, you want to decide before the wave even starts, or at the very latest when you see what elite it is, whether you are trying to kill it or whether you're trying to just run away. Don't get into a position where you have done like half of its health and damage and then realize you can't kill it, because the elites have multiple stages, and getting them, as you get them lower, they go into their harder later stages. Also, it means you'll have spent a lot of time like taking extra damage or playing riskier to try to kill the thing. You really want to decide in advance whether you're attempting to kill it. In this case, we have great defensive stats and tons of damage, so I was always going to attempt to kill the elite no matter what it was. And when you have decided to kill the elite, you want to DPS it down as soon as you can, so that you can spend the rest of the wave farming, and so that the enemies don't have enough time to like stack up to put you under threat while you're trying to fight the elite. Octopus gives us a lot of stats that we don't really need. Regen and lifesteal, I mean, they're not bad, but that we don't need them. Loses his crit chance, but 12 max HP is huge for us right now. We only have 67, which is actually quite low, especially considering that I have 2 scars, which give you extra HP because you level up more, and 4 broken mouths. So we've found a lot of max HP in the shop. I'm actually, I guess we just haven't selected any at level ups, but this is a very low max HP amount for this point, but Octopus fixes that. Finn, I am going to recycle here, I think, because I want to keep my luck and we don't need any more speed. More than 30%, you can actually start running into trouble, and we don't need the lifesteal at all. And the reason that you can start running into trouble with more than 30% speed is just that the faster you're moving, the faster your reflexes have to be to dodge. So while it doesn't really matter for this build, because at this point we're more or less invincible, I think that you actually want to stick to around 30% speed, unless you have a power generator. Vigilante Ring will still be a decent amount of percent damage, even though we're getting it quite late, so we'll just pick it up. And then here I'm going to reroll, looking for a higher level upgrade, reroll again, and then this is great, we'll just take 12 max HP. Suddenly our max HP problems are solved. I have 61 dodge out of 60, so we're over dodge cap. I could take some more dodge, just because that will give us the ability to reduce our dodge if there's items we want that reduce our dodge. But here I think I'm just going to take the luck. That's totally fine. We'll take a Cyber Ball for sure. This is similar to the baby elephant, just another non-weapon source of damage, which is great for our character. And then I immediately punished by not buying the fin. I should have bought it, as it turns out, because we got the power generator, which is a huge amount of percent damage, but would be 10% more if I had the fin. So, you know, maybe that was an error. Certainly didn't work out well, but I kind of stand by what I said there. We will buy max HP and luck for sure off the panda, and then reroll again. Wisdom is an item that I typically suggest avoiding on most characters for the reason that I showed you with the elites. When you go into an elite or boss fight, your goal is to kill them as soon as possible, so you don't want to reduce your damage at the beginning of the wave. That's when you most need your damage. Yeah, now I'm going to buy the beanie because we have the power generator, so it's also 4% damage. And then I'm going to pass here because our rerolls are getting really expensive. Between two baby elephants and a cyberball, we now have a lot of cross-map wave clear, so things are dying before I even have to like run up to them. This build has become a doctor / lucky. I feel like, you know, I'm going to title this video Dr. Scissors, which sounds like a He-Man villain, or possibly a porn star. We are going to recycle this bat. Actually, I guess we don't care that much about the harvesting. Sure, I'll take 2% lifesteal and 1 regen because we have a fairy, so every unique level 1 item gives us a regen. More mice are good, so we are going to definitely buy that, and more melee damage as well. Here, I have pretty high percent damage now, and this is level 25, so we're guaranteed a level 4 upgrade. I could take 16% damage. I could also reroll to try to find like melee damage. I think I'm going to reroll to try to find armor. Do one more reroll here. And yeah, there we go. 4 armor. Armor's basically the only stat that's relevant to us at this point. Our damage is high enough, but armor could help protect us. So while I'll still take damage and everything, armor is going to be the most important thing. I could also have taken that speed upgrade because it would have given me percent damage as well, but I think just trying to get to like 7 to 10 armor is going to be the best thing that we can do to guarantee the win here. Coupon, I think, will still pay for itself even getting it this late. Metal detector probably won't, so I should probably pass on it. Maybe it even will, though. Plus, it's just fun to boost my luck, so I'm going to buy it. Vigilante ring, definitely not worth it at this point, but we will take mastery and cake and roll. Hunting trophy, even this late, is going to pay for itself pretty quickly because we have 50% crit chance, so this is going to get us a lot of money. Improved tools is just 10% attack speed. We don't have, I guess we've got the one garden, but it will also reduce the speed of our garden because our actual attack speed is low. It's just our attack speed with our actual weapons that's high. We're going to skip improved tools. And rerolls are getting really expensive again, so let's go fight this elite. Stage 1 of this elite, it just slowly walks at you. Stage 2, it will charge at you, which is more dangerous. But we're both fast enough and survivable enough that we can just kite it around and kill it very quickly. The goal with that elite is to move around to behind it right before it charges, and then just follow its charge. Follow it in the direction of its charge, and that will let you kill it pretty regularly. I didn't do a great job of it there. I'll be honest, I'm playing a little sloppy because our build is so strong at this point that I just don't feel like I need to really pay that much attention to what I'm doing in terms of my movement or positioning. And that's what happens when you get early economy items on a powerful character. 1,000 materials in the bank. We only lose 3% attack speed for 30% damage. Yes, please. 2 melee damage, I will still just take. Melee damage is still good for us. And then here, I'm actually going to take crit chance because we have the hunting trophy, so that's worth some money to us as well. Armor, upgraded scissors. Yeah, we'll just buy all of these things. We now also have plus 30% enemies, so we're the same as the Loud, or almost the same as the Loud. So that's going to be pretty nice for us. I'll take the Lure here as well. Lucky Coin will reduce our armor by 1, because the armor modifications are reduced by 50% on the Doctor. But this is going to give us 94 luck, and yeah, that's pretty nice. I'll take that. Yep, 10% speed is also 10% damage. Range basically doesn't matter at all in this game. You can almost always ignore range as a stat, but the speed on the wings is very good here. And then I want all of these. I think the one that will have the most impact right now is the scissors, but I will lock the Terrified Onion and the coffee as well. You should hunt down and kill the brain bugs here because the buffed enemies can be dangerous. They do 50% more damage and have twice as much health, I think, and so they are extremely dangerous if you let too many enemies get buffed. Even with the very high defensive stats we have now, if I took, like, it would have to be a lot of hits in a row. I'm not going to pretend that we're in a lot of danger in this run, but if we took, I don't know, 8 to 10 hits in a row from buffed aliens, we would die, which otherwise basically couldn't happen in this, at the current state of this character. I'm going to recycle boiling water, and we'll take another garden, just more consumables on the ground. Recycle this incendiary turret, we don't really need it. Incendiary turret is a good way to add some wave clear to a build that's lacking wave clear, by the way. Even on non-engineering builds, it can help you kill a lot of enemies, if you get it a little earlier than this. By this wave, it won't really be doing much, but this can be a good economy item to help if your character is struggling to clear the waves. Just something to keep in mind, even on non-engineering builds. And then we'll recycle the pencil. Here, I'll just take 10% attack speed. I think that will give us a little extra damage. I could have rolled for armor, and maybe I should have, because, again, armor's the only thing that, like, really will make a difference to this character. But I'd rather just roll for better items in the shop. I could take more max HP. I don't think we really need to buy the alien magic, and I kind of like that we have 260 luck. Let's upgrade our scissors. Stone Skin, we don't need. We have plenty of max HP and just not enough armor. So even though this cost me only -1 armor, it's still not worth picking up, I don't think. Wheat is 4 melee damage for 230. That's very expensive, but I think still worth buying just because our melee damage is still somewhat low for a melee damage build. And so any boosts we can get to that will help a lot with damage. Poisonous Tonic will be great, as will an upgraded scissors, and yeah, we'll just keep buying more luck. Both gardens spawning together. If we cared about healing, that would be pretty good for us, because it would mean we would have a place on the map we could go for lots of consumables dropping all at once. So if I took a hit and needed a sudden burst of healing, we could go up here and pick up 3 or 4 consumables all at once, which is why Garden is so good, because it gives you like a stockpile of healing, and why you should strive not to pick up the fruits unless you actually need them. Although that's a little thrown off by the fact that we have the spicy sauces in this build, but in general, you should strive not to pick up the fruits or the crates unless you actually need the healing, because then you can store healing on the ground to keep your character alive. We've got a lot of consumables on the ground this wave, thanks to our extremely high luck. When you have luck in the 300s, that's going to happen. 1,300 materials in the bank here. Piggy bank, when you get it for free, is often worth picking up. Obviously, at this point, it won't matter because we're going into wave 20, so it literally stops working next wave. But if you get piggy bank for free, it can be worth picking this up. Don't try to save materials for the piggy bank. Just leave it in your inventory and let it rack up like 10, 15 every couple waves, and it will pay for itself when you get it for free. But I usually don't like to buy this in the shop because it takes 5 waves for the materials you store to pay for themselves, since you only get 20%. And so those materials are wasted for 5 waves while you're trying to build up money from the piggy bank. Therefore, not a super efficient item, generally speaking. You know what? I'm going to take the hunting trophy. We'll just see how much money we get from it next wave. And then I think I will buy the armor over the 6 melee damage, just because that's, again, the only thing we really care about. And then, sure, we'll take more speed and damage here. Upgrade scissors, buy goat skull, buy poisonous tonic, reroll. More move speed, although this is at the cost of crit chance, so I think I actually will pass on the compass. Buy that though, more percent damage. Could take more attack speed, but I think we're just going to reroll. Upgrade our scissors again. Buy some more percent damage, and then we will finish off with a focus for 30% damage, and then we have reached some truly absurd endgame stats with 282 luck, 359 harvesting, 62 speed, 61 dodge, only 6 armor. So you can see we did have to work to get our armor, but you can see just how good this character gets when you pick up your economy stats. Let's go kill the bosses and end the run. Usually you want to focus down the octopus head boss before the other boss. It's the more dangerous of the two. And also, it follows you around, so it's easier to focus, whereas when we get this guy to his 3rd stage, he's going to start running away. You can see it's a little harder to focus him down first. And there we go. We have defeated the bosses on the Doctor, so that was a random weapons Doctor challenge. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I hope that was helpful if you're newer to Danger 5. You can see how quickly this build gets out of hand. The main lessons here are focus economy stats early and find I'll just show you like how much these economy items gave us. The coupons were worth 600 materials, the bags were worth 900 materials. The scars were probably worth about like 5 levels between the two of them, which is pretty good. That's a lot of free stats that you're getting. Crown gave us 177 harvesting. Obviously we got 6 crates from our lures, and so on. So just the early economy items are huge, and make sure that you have enough damage to clear the waves, and then defensive stats follow after that. Alright, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and of course, if you have, do feel free to leave a thumbs up, like the video, and leave a comment. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato videos and other strategy game guides. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.